Insights with Terri Coots, a weekly look through the eyes of predictive astrologer Terri Coots. Here's Terri.
Hi everyone, this is Terri, and you're listening to Insights with Terri Coots. Thanks for joining me. We'll explore together the week of September the 14th through the 21st, 2025. We have a lot of Virgo energy both coming and here now, so I'm going to try to prepare you for this. If you have any anxiety issues at all, this could be the time that it would be more available to you because of the self-talk, because of the way our mind works. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is a planet of the mind, how we think, how we communicate, and that is also in Virgo. So we have Virgo in a sun sign, we have Virgo in its natural planetary position, which is Mercury. We have Venus, the planet of what we're attracted to, what we want, our passion. That's in Leo right now, but on the 20th, that's going to move to Virgo. Now, the challenge will be that we're already feeling it. So anybody that's sensitive will feel it already. And anybody, oh yeah, my birds are serenading me. They've been quiet all morning. It's hard to believe. Anyway, this Virgo energy could cause this kind of an anxiety. So what that could have erupted into is, let's just say that I worried about the birds yelling and screaming, but I know you guys are tolerant, so I'm okay. I live in I think everybody says it's so quiet out here. I find it's the noisiest place on earth between rabbits making noises and all my feathered friends and dogs. Anyway, so that's anxiety, so that's self-talk. And I really want to talk about self-talk towards a little bit later in this podcast. And then the planet of passion, how we think, how we communicate, that's in Libra. Libra is oriented towards partnerships and wanting to be with. We be with a person, with a dog, social, homebody kind of energy. Not the same as Cancer, but a different kind of like decorating, making your home more inviting to people so they don't leave. Go home, people. And then that's going to turn into Scorpio on the 23rd, and that's a very psychic energy, but it can be, with some of the planets that are here, it can be a little dark in that it's self-reflective. It can be hard on us, and that's why I want to do a little bit of talking about self-talk. On the 19th, that Mercury energy is going to turn into Libra, so that will help us get out of some of this. So we do have some tools here. Now, towards the beginning of the week, watch your stomachs, kids. There could be some issues with, if you have a gentle stomach, there could be some issues with your digestive tract, your pancreas, the small intestine. So if you have any stomach issues, be careful not to aggravate it, because it will absolutely let you know it's not a happy tummy. And if you have any pancreatic issues, don't push it. So if you do, don't drink. Alcohol and pancreas don't like each other at all. So just be really careful what your food choices are if you have a sensitivity. If you don't have a sensitivity, this energy, because it's so strong, could give you one. So just kind of be aware of that and say, oh, this is new for me, and now you can learn from it. Now, as I said, that self-talk with all that Virgo energy, Virgo will, try to get things organized, which is a wonderful energy. But if we don't do it, then we become overwhelmed, and then that self-talk makes it worse and worse. So I want you to understand that self-talk matters. It really does. It's an internal dialogue, and what we say to ourselves, how much we're saying to ourselves, when we say these things to ourselves, it can influence our self-confidence. It can influence our performance in anything, your job, with your family, even how you feel for sure about yourself. I used to self-talk in a very negative way when I was young because I couldn't find a redeeming value that I had. So if I couldn't get the math question right, of course you can't, Terri. You're stupid. You're just stupid. So then I'd carry stupid around. And then anything that went wrong, it was because I was stupid. So really, really be careful for your children. Thank God dogs don't do this. But your children, your family, see if there's some narrative that they get into that you're aware of, that you can help make them aware of their own self-talk. My uncle, Wilbert, that just recently passed, he used to tell me when I started my journey on being a widow, that was 11 years ago, the start of it, he said, watch what you say to yourself in the quiet time. He said, you will be alone, and a lot of your thoughts will be internalized, and you will live what you're thinking. And boy, did that ever hit home, because it made me more self-aware of what I was thinking, so that I could see the patterns. Whatever I thought is what I got. So it's absolutely true. Believe me, it's absolutely true. So we have to work on, with all this Virgo energy, improving our mindset, because that's the key to get the results that you want, that maybe what you want to achieve. And how are you going to respond to the events is going to be reflected in your self-talk and how you do respond to it, how you react to others, clients, friends, family. Your self-talk is going to dictate how you react to them. So if I'm self-talking negative about a person, like, oh my God, blah, 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 it's going to affect the relationship, even though you haven't said it to them directly. And I have to be more careful of these things too myself. I'm right in there with everybody. So if you're feeling frustrated, for instance, there's something that's frustrating you, maybe training your dog and the dog's just not getting it, or you're feeling frustrated with technology, how we feel when we become annoyed, maybe at this new tech or this new trick that I want to work with my dog. We need to remind ourselves, this is the first time I'm doing this. This is the first time the dog is doing it. This is the first time I've ever worked my iPad. I've never had an iPad before. And now it's going to take longer than it would take somebody else to work with it. And expect that. Expect that I'm not going to just get on Libby and get my books downloaded so easy, because I haven't done it before. But we have to keep going. If you keep going, then you're going to learn it. You're going to try this, and you're going to notice how you feel more motivated instead of feeling stuck when you start to give yourself permission to experiment and try to get it right. So that self-talk is huge. And there was an unknown author one time that I had read, and it said that success isn't just about what you accomplish in your life. It's about what you inspire others to do, which is absolutely true. I have so many good friends that I watch them and I observe them, and all from different ilks. And they're very, very inspiring to other people. They're on their journey of learning, observing, holding themselves accountable, being responsible for the patterns that they've achieved, or own circumstances. They'll own it and then see what they can do about it. Whether it's good or negative, they'll own it and then work with it. So it's an amazing energy field to be able to, in neutrality, observe what we see. So when people come with their dogs, they describe the dog to me, and then I'm watching the dog, and they describe themselves to me, and I'm watching them. I'm thinking, no, no, none of what you just said is accurate. But I'm a third party, and I'm neutral. I don't have an attachment to their story. So when you get into that, and we have a story, and we keep repeating it to ourselves, that becomes our story. And then we may have a friend that can talk us out of it, or point things out, or a book, or a billboard, or our guide, something that helps us get out of the rut that we've maybe self-talked ourselves into. So what I've noticed is high achievers really focus on implementing systems for success. So they look at, what does success look like to you? To me, success is having a happy family, having my family actually like me, having friends that might possibly like me, having my dogs like me. Money's wonderful, and I'd like to just not starve, and I would like a warm house for the winter, but for me, I know what success is. Do you know what success is for you? So this is what we're coming up to with all this Virgo energy and Leo energy. So what the achievers do is they zero in on the internal systems, and not just external, like let's just say if you were in sales, external achievement would be selling and getting marketing and all of your numbers up. But one very important internal system that really needs managing is what our dialogue is, because how we speak to ourselves is absolutely going to influence the outcomes in your life. It's absolutely. I have spent my life, not bragging, just saying, doing everything that everybody said I couldn't do. The minute somebody said, you can't do that, or girls can't do that, or that's not a job for women, red flag to a bull. I had to do it. I just had to do it. Because my mother taught me self-talk. My mother, my uncle, they said you can do anything you want. Anything. There's nothing you can't do if you don't believe that you can't do it. And so other people's limits were not mine, and never were, and never will be. And you can do the same thing. I am just a small little person, inconsequential. And if I can do some of the things that I've done, you absolutely can as well. So what I'd like you to think about is there's a concept called reframing. And it's a practice of flipping negative and negative phrases and daunting thoughts around in your mind to give you a different perspective on that situation. And that's the key. It's a key tool. I want that one in my toolbox, because reframing changes how I feel, how you will feel about any given event, a challenge. What's going to make the difference in how you go through it and how you experience your day? It's absolutely imperative. So I'm going to give you an example. I hate walking into parties by myself, and I seem to always have to do it. My whole life has been the biggest fear I have, which is being alone, going to public events. And guess what I do for a living? I go to bars and restaurants, sit there all by myself, make a spectacle of myself, doing readings so everybody can stare at the goofy woman over there. And I've done that for a living. So self-talk was really important, so that I just didn't quit and go, welcome to Walmart. So you can achieve it if you can think it, if you can reframe it. So I reframed it as, instead of sitting there thinking of me being alone and everybody staring at me, wondering what the heck I'm doing and why is she here, what a weird woman, I just got into different talk in my head. I'm not going to share that with you. You don't need to know. It's too personal. But anyway, you can do it too. And it's just reframing the situation. I was in sales for years, and I hated sales. Of all the things in the world for me to get into, I hate selling to people. So what I did is I reframed it. Instead of selling my product, which was pretty big, I was thinking of how can I help people with my product. So instead of going into, say, the garden centers and trying to sell all the little flamingos and the little honey bears and all those things, what I did was I thought, how can I help their sales, their bottom line? How can I help this manager to get better numbers? What can we do together to make his job more efficient, better? How can I help? And I was extremely successful. But it was just reframing. I didn't think of myself as trying to sell something to somebody. I was thinking of myself going in and doing favors. How can I help you? Can I redo the end display and make this a little bit better, and your boss is going to love you? Oh no, don't buy that. No, I know I sell it, but don't buy that. It's not going to sell in this area. Really, no one's going to buy it. I know the areas that it sells. This is not one of them. I do know what will sell, though. So that changing of how I thought changed how I was successful in my careers. Now, what I want you to say is, like, for instance, for yourself, say you get up, God forbid, it's raining, right? It's a rainy day. Oh, reframe it, flip it. It's raining again. Great. My garden needs the rain. There's nothing like rain to grow your garden. You can water it until you're purple, but rain is something different. And recognizing that rain's got a positive side. And then get wider. And when you think wider, the world begins to change. And how you feel about the world and the events are going to change. So what I want you to do is start seeing if maybe, I'm not telling you what to do, forgive me. If I got a client, excuse me, if I have a client that starts telling me about what a bad day they have, which happens, I mean, this is why they're here. They're having bad days. Nobody calls me for a reading and says, oh, my life is gorgeous. Can you blow my life apart for me so I can learn my next lesson? I have not had one person ever say that to me. I've said it to my guides and wished I didn't, but then I'm a little different too. So that client's starting to tell me about their bad day that they're having, and then I tried to reframe it for them. And then I might say, well, then it's a good thing that you're calling me for help. We're going to work on this together. We're going to get this figured out. And what seems to be impossible for them isn't for my guides, for sure, because I'm leaning on them all the time. So you just flip it. Let's sort this out together. I'm here. You're here. We can work this out. We have brains. We can work this out. And we've got tools like guides and God and all kinds of different assets that we can throw in here and get it fixed out. They feel better immediately. Maybe their dog just bit their kid. I got to get rid of my dog. I can't live without my dog, but I can't keep it. So we sort it out together. And I try to get them off the cliff if I can. To start with, tell me what's going on. So I'm just going to try to reframe it for them. And that's going to help them find solutions. It's going to help me find a solution for them and them find a solution for themselves. Much, much quicker and much easier. And it creates a real happy environment. My workspace is better. My clients feel better. And that's what self-talk does. That's how important self-talk is. So this week, kids, with all that Virgo energy and that Mercury-ruled Virgo, you're going to have the opportunity to do some really cool self-talking here. Take that opportunity. Change your mind. Recognize when you're not self-talking positively. Flip it. Flip it. My mantra is, this is not a problem. This is not a problem. Even though the water main has just broken and I don't know how to shut the main water off and the basement's flooding, I will be saying to myself, this is not a problem. And I know it sounds silly because it definitely is a problem. It just seems to, I don't know, soften the edges. I had my boiler in the winter during one of those terrible winter storms start to heat up. And I live a distance from the road. And it wouldn't stop and just kept heating and heating, and it got to be 98 in the basement. My in-ground heat was starting to crack, couldn't get anybody, and I kept saying to myself, it's not a problem, it's not a problem, it's going to be okay, it's going to be okay. And a friend of mine from the States actually called me, and I said, I can't talk right now, my life is really complicated. And he said, well, what's going on? And I told him what was happening. He knew boilers, told me exactly what to do. Oh, thank God, right? But I had to keep myself calm so I didn't go off the deep end. There was no place to go. It was full of snow. Nobody could have driven in the driveway. Even if somebody would have come out and shouldn't have been on the road, I wouldn't have wanted to put a person on the road in that kind of weather. So self-talk, self-talk, self-talk. What I want you to do this week, I'm giving you orders, giving you homework. I want you to think about and be aware and observe in a neutral way, what is most of my self-talk sounding like? And by the end of the week, you'll know yourself a little bit differently, and then see where you can start reframing and flipping it around. All right, kids, that is it for this week. So that's your homework, and I would like to truly thank our Charlie O'Brien for putting us up on all of the platforms and doing all of this for me, because if he didn't do it, we wouldn't have this, and I'm very grateful. And if you get a chance, you can listen to him on the big number8radio.com. He plays all the 60s, 70s, 80s. You want to feel good? Listen to oldies. That'll do it for you. And he's got he's got a voice and a half. So he's got us on Spotify, he's got us on Apple, iTunes, and the podcast. He's got us on Amazon, SoundCloud, YouTube. He's got us everywhere. So thank you, Charlie, for that. Thank you for taking the time and listening to me prattling on. And I want you to have a really good week. Just kind of be aware. Alrighty. And if you need a reading for yourself so I can help sort you out, or not, give me a shout, text or call 519-726-6699, or you can email me at terri.coutts@gmail.com, and I'd like to help you with your animals as well. If there's anything I can do for you, keep that in mind. Have a great week, everybody. Bye for now.
Thanks for listening to Insights with Terri Coots. Visit Terri's website at terriworld.com. TERRI world.com.